Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive, and I mean absolutely massive, technological shift that is actively rewiring how law firms operate on a day-to-day basis. We're looking at LexiFlow AI. It's a platform promising to modernize the traditional legal workflow totally from the ground up. If you've been tracking the intersection of law and tech, you already know huge workflow transformations are happening literally right now, and today we're going to map out exactly what that looks like. Okay, let's dive into this. Typically, law firms are forced to duct tape together this Frankenstein-like system of standalone software tools, right? And that approach easily runs upwards of $1,000 every single month. But LexiFlow collapses all those fragmented subscriptions into one integrated suite of 6 modules, all for just $69 a month. We are talking about a completely unified, highly affordable ecosystem here. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the cost of legal tech. Then, we'll trace a case through automating client intake, speeding up case prep, and closing the case, before wrapping it all up with the ultimate value proposition. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the cost of legal tech. We really need to emphasize the huge problem of relying on fragmented tools and contrast that with the incredibly integrated, cost-saving nature of LexiFlow. You know, disconnected tools just eat up so much time and budget. To see how a unified system actually solves this in the real world, we're going to follow the natural, chronological progression of a legal case, starting from the intake phase, moving into case prep, and finally landing on the resolution phase. Section 2, automating client intake. This moves us right into the very first phase of the workflow, capturing the lead using 24/7 gatekeepers. Look, you can't win a case if you never capture the lead in the first place, right? Enter the AI intake agent. This is basically a 24/7 gatekeeper that literally never sleeps. It uses AI reasoning to actively vet potential clients and grab those critical case details around the clock. Essentially, your firm is now open for business at 2 in the morning. Now, what's really interesting about this is that it isn't just some clunky robotic answering machine. The voice AI receptionist is programmed to answer naturally, with real empathy and precision. I mean, people calling a law firm are often incredibly stressed out, and this ensures every single high-volume or after-hours call is handled with the exact right tone, so those massive opportunities are never missed. And alongside those core tools, the platform actually gifts these specific bonuses, like an intake leakage audit and an after-hours missed call report. Think of these as diagnostic tools. They help law firms audit exactly where they've been bleeding money in the past, right at the initial intake stage. Next up, Section 3, speeding up case prep. Here, we shift the narrative to building the actual case. The focus now is on turning literal mountains of data into usable intelligence and doing it with extreme speed. All right, so once a lead actually becomes a client, the real grueling work begins. The old way of prepping a case, it involves paralegals burning the midnight oil, probably up at 3 a.m., manually reviewing 5,000 pages of dense medical records. LexiFlow flips this entirely by auto-generating trial-ready AI medical chronologies in mere minutes. It is a massive, game-changing reclamation of billable hours. And this brilliantly illustrates our next tool, Depot Lens AI. Now, this isn't just basic text summarization, it's true deposition intelligence. The AI actively analyzes transcripts to pinpoint admissions, glaring inconsistencies, and credibility issues. It offers this incredible, highly specialized precision to perfectly ready an attorney for cross-examination. To support this prep phase, users also get another set of bonuses, a sample AI chronology report and the 2026 Depot Preparation Checklist. It's a really smart move. They deliberately pair the software tools with highly actionable, practical resources to immediately elevate an attorney's case strategy. Section 4, closing the case. Now we transition to the final phase of the case lifecycle, where all the focus shifts to drafting the final documents and actually getting that settlement. Okay, so we've captured the lead, we've prepped the data, and now the focus shifts entirely to closing that settlement. But to get it, you gotta file the paperwork. The auto document drafter basically takes your case data and instantly spits out polished demand letters and legal filings. It literally compresses hours of incredibly tedious formatting into just seconds. 50,000. That is the massive volume of personal injury cases analyzed just to power LexiFlow's settlement estimator. By leveraging historical data at that kind of scale, the AI predicts case value with unbelievable precision. It completely replaces gut-feeling guesswork with rock-solid, data-driven valuation. And right at the finish line, to round out the bonuses, you're armed with a winning demand letter template pack and a PI case valuation cheat sheet. This just ensures that the closing process is every bit as optimized as your initial intake. Section 5, the ultimate value proposition. Let's move into our final section to quickly summarize this entire intake to settlement workflow and reiterate the true core value of this platform. We've traveled all the way from a late-night phone call to predicting the final settlement check. So the crucial point is this: one platform, 6 powerful tools, one low price. Flawlessly integrating intake, chronologies, drafting, and valuation into a single cohesive suite, that fundamentally changes the entire logistics of managing a law firm. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to consider. Is your law firm ready to replace over $1,000 a month in fragmented, standalone software for just $69 a month? When you see the entire workflow laid out step by step, like we just did, sticking to the old, expensive way of doing things starts to look, frankly, like a massive liability. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how technology can better serve your workflow.